Hey guys, you're probably here to watch a how-to on how to do the oil change on a GSX8R. And first off, let's make sure we got all of our stuff we need. We're gonna need an oil filter, removal tool. Suzuki does sell their own, but you can obviously use any others that work. This is a suitable replacement filter, the HF138 by High Flow Filtro. You'll need 4 quarts, and my dealer already screwed me. So never trust your dealer, but you'll need 4 quarts of 10W40 MA2. All right, so what you're gonna need is a 5mm Allen, and we've got 2 bolts to remove, one here and here, and then there are some plastic clips on the bottom here. Not sure my camera's gonna... Okay, so just the one in the front, actually. Those all need to come off. Bottom here, the correct tool would be something like this guy, but you could use a pickle fork or a screwdriver. And you're gonna want to get in between there to get the two to separate, which is kind of always fun. With a tool like this, you can kind of pry in between. You'll see. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It'll release like that, and that'll make it so you can take the whole piece out without damaging it usually, which mine did not. And just so you can see how that is, and see how there's a flat entry side. There's a flat entry side you slide into, and you can pop it up. All right, and then there's another one really hidden. I'm gonna try to zoom in. It is right there. So you'll need to look at it from the front side here. There's one right there. And then you'll see there's kind of some plastic tabs down in there. Right there, that guy mainly. That's kind of a plastic tab, so you're just gonna have to bend, pop plastics out of place, and you'll be good. Now, the other side obviously has the same thing, and we could remove this front plastic piece. All right, so I'll show you how I got to this stage. Really, you guys didn't miss much. I removed the front cowling, the front lower here, which is up in there, which just had the 2 plastic tabs, one there and one there. So I've got 4 plastic tabs, the 2 screws, and this guy didn't need to come out. So what that gives me is the flexibility to wiggle this, which allows you to get this guy out of there, which gives you, honestly, plenty of access. I don't see why you need more than that. So now I'll be able to drain the oil. So our drain plug bolt is right there, and I'll put in the description what size it is, as well as the filter is right there. Should be able to easily access these with an extension. There's plenty of room here. I will add that furthermore, I did put it on a stand, which gave me a little bit more height, and it kind of centers the bike and tilts it forward. It does say in the manual to do this on the side stand, or you can do it on the side stand. So if you're worried about drainage, I would say tilt your bike left for your draining part, and be sure your pan is low enough to do so. So something I want to note, because the manual says to drain it on the side stand, that is a clear indication that it's supposed to be drained that way. And furthermore, the filter and drain plug are on the left side, which means it's leaning the bike this way. So I have taken it off the side stand. It allowed me, see, the pan won't go in there because of this lip, but it allowed me to set down my lower fairings here inside the pan, and it is not dripping on the fairings. So that is what you'll want to make sure you can do. And now if you have a low rise pan, you won't even need a rear stand. I need to get a thinner one because that bike wasn't fun either. The wife's Z400 was a little unfun, so I need a thinner drain pan. So if you got something that'll work, great. Otherwise, go get something. All right, so we've got our drain plug is already out, which, by the way, it is a 17, which can be an obscure socket for some people. A lot of kits go 16 to 18. So 17 mil, that might be special for you. And I've cracked this loose already, which did not take much force. And now we will just unscrew it by hand. plenty of working room here, and actually the header's cooled down pretty quickly, if I'm honest. And there we go. And then you'll want to clean up any of these mating surfaces. So clean up that ring, clean up where the oil is draining from, clean that up just from any dust potentially. And then on your new filter, sorry, make sure you put a dab of oil, kind of just lubricate this outer seal, just lubricate that. And it doesn't hurt to remove the your refill, which is on the right side. And I always put a rag in here so it can breathe, but nothing can fall in. I've got a lot of pollen from trees. So protect yourself there if you're kind of outside like this bike is right now. Let that drain, make sure it all stops kind of dripping. Check for metal in there. It will be normal to see a little bit of metal in your first break-in oil. Pretty normal on pretty much all engines. And unless you see excessive amounts, I really wouldn't worry. It would be nice to upgrade this drain bolt to magnetic. Oh, it is. It is actually. There you go. It's got a magnetic little piece in it, which it had almost nothing. That's why I didn't even notice originally. Had almost no buildup on it, so that's good. Means that possibly, or most likely, any of the wear we've had so far is from non-magnetic material, which is good. Other things to note, make sure you clean off this magnetic tip now that we know that it is a magnetic drain plug, which is awesome. Thank you, Suzuki. Some sort of upgrade not required, you know. And then all your seals and gaskets and stuff. So our plug here, we're gonna wanna inspect that seal, make sure it's not torn or ripped, otherwise replace it. And we wanna lubricate our new one, which I did. And, oh, I forgot to mention, there is a crush washer right there. Now, I'll be honest, I don't replace these every time, and I've never had an issue. But if you're that worried, it is available at your Suzuki dealer. That little crush washer right here can be replaced. So, up to you. I'm gonna rock without it. And you do need 4 quarts total. The bike actually in the manual calls out, I think it's 3.2 without a filter and 3.7 with a filter. And if you did a complete engine rebuild, it specified, I believe, 4.1 quarts total. So we're gonna need 3.7 quarts, if I recall right, and I will verify in the manual. And I'll put this stuff in the description, this good info. All right, we are down to just some drippings, and I actually propped it back up and it stopped dripping. So this is further proof you need to be on your side stand to make sure you're done draining. If you're up like this, it is not draining out everything it could. So you're leaving some of that potential metal chunks or sludge or old oil in there. So make sure you are on this side stand, not propped up. All right, so I figured I'd call this out. The manual actually really covers this well. It's around 340 is the oil change section. So they cover really everything if you didn't know what you were doing. There is a torque spec, it's 15 foot-pounds, so you can get your torque wrench out, I will. Or it specifies to do 2 turns. So you spin until you can't stop, or it stops, just spin by hand till it stops. Then they're saying 2 turns, or to specified torque, so 2 full rotations. Here, I'll show you guys how it looks with a torque wrench. We're gonna have our extension and our tool on here. We're gonna go to the filter, and then we're just gonna set this. I set it to 15 foot-pounds. I'll re-clarify that, make sure I wasn't out in inch-pounds or something weird. So yeah, 15 foot-pounds. And look at the manual real quick. You really don't want to screw that up. It is 15 foot-pound or some weird other thing. Not even Newton, it just says kilograms per square meter or something. So getting tight. There you go. No need to overdo it. These things are held in by that seal. You won't be able to unscrew this by hand probably. So, funny. And we need to clean that up. Just wipe up the oil and put our drain plug in. All right, so like I said, I didn't wipe this yet, or it dribbled a little more maybe. Wipe off this guy. Now, it'll be clean. I mean, if you didn't wipe it off, it's not a huge deal. All right, so we'll get our drain plug back on. And then this guy is, again, a 17 millimeter. And funny enough, it torques to 17 foot-pounds. We'll show you guys where I'm adding the oil and your oil level. So I've got a nice little funnel, but you'll see if you look in this hole, which is on your right side of your bike, and there was that black little cap I showed you guys earlier, that's your clutch. These are wet clutches. It's very normal to see that there, in case you're new to bikes. And then you've got your level here, and you'll see there's two little notches, one there, one there. When the bike's upright, you know what? Honestly, refer to the manual on this. It's a kind of a process they want you to do. They want you to like start the bike for 3 minutes or something and let it sit for 3 minutes. I can't remember, it's something weird. But we're looking to add 3.7 quarts, and then we're gonna verify that we're between those two levels. All right, so last quart of oil here. You're gonna fill this, you're gonna drain this down to 9.6. So between 12 and 8 here on the Suzuki stuff. Between 12 and 8, right in the middle would be 9.5, so just a hair above that, so probably about right if you just aim for the middle. And that would be good for your oil. Furthermore, I'll clarify the checking of the oil level. So you're gonna get your correct amount of oil in, you're gonna start the bike, let it idle for 3 minutes on its side stand, and then you're gonna shut it off, another 3 minutes off, and then check the level. Now, the manual does not specify, or it does specify to put the stand the motorcycle upright and check whether the surface of the engine oil is correct between the F and L. So what they're trying to tell you is you do everything with the startup and the 3 minutes of cooling on its side, but then you will need to have possibly a friend, if you can't do it, it's a heavy bike for you, upright the bike straight up so it's vertical and check the level. That is how you check level. All right, so we need to make sure we put back on our front covers. All of our bolts are tightened up. We filled our oil, put our cowlings back on if we took them off. I could see how someone could do it without taking the cowling off. This one's probably your easiest. It's 4 little push pins, and I think it'll gain you everything you need. You might need to take these 2 side bolts out to get some wiggle out of a panel, but I don't know why you'd need to remove this entire guy. Especially when you got to deal with the blinker and a lot of screws and bolts. So we're gonna get this guy's position back in place, right? Let's get that position back in with all the little clips, holes where they need to be, and then we'll put our push pins in, and then we'll reattach this side panel. And that's all you got to do, guys. I hope this video helps out some people who maybe thought this was a daunting task on maybe a fairing bike, or it's their first bike. Oil changes are really nothing of a big deal. You do not need the rear lift. On your first oil change, make sure you check your manual. There's an annual list you need to be going through that Suzuki covers. And you also need to do your chain, which I just did. My chain, cleaned it and lubricated it.
Please help out my channel by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and or commenting below.